Hey guys, welcome back to the Mike Flory podcast. I'm your host, Mike Flory. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're not exactly off to the happiest start here in America. We just had two crazy events happen just this morning. This isn't going to be a crazy long video. There's not a ton of information out about these events yet, but I wanted to touch on them. The first is the New Orleans terror attack in which 42-year-old Shamsud Din Jabbar drove an electric F-150 down Bourbon Street, running over people, killing initially reported 10. They've now upped that to 15 and injuring about 30. Now, that death count is likely to go up, unfortunately, but right now it's at 15. Let's start with what we know. This guy is born in Texas, served 5 years in the Army Reserve, graduated from Georgia State in 2017, and worked for Deloitte, which is one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. It's like top four. So, an American citizen, right? And there's reports that this vehicle that he drove came across the border in 2000. In November 17th. But I don't know that that has anything to do with illegal immigrants or anything. This guy was born in Texas. He probably wasn't even the guy driving it in November. This is a truck that was put up for rent through an app. That may have been the owner driving it across the border, which is what I've read. It may have been somebody else renting the vehicle. We don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the open border crisis, which is a crisis, but I don't think that necessarily has anything to do with what's going on right now. More interesting to me, there's a video of this truck going down the street. So Bourbon Street's going this way, and he's driving up that street, and blocking Bourbon Street are police vehicles. This guy simply drove around the police vehicles and floored it down Bourbon Street. There are supposed to be hydraulic metal barriers that they can, put up during events like this that were supposedly under maintenance since last month. They knew New Year's was coming up, but decided to do maintenance on these things the month prior and not have them available for New Year's? Strange. It doesn't make any sense to me. It either has to be complete incompetence or something more malicious. I hope it's not the latter, but it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you do this a month before New Year's? If those were up, he wouldn't have been able to go around the cop car and drive down Bourbon Street the way he did. Did he know that they weren't going to be up? If he didn't know and he was going to do this kind of attack, I don't know. I'm not going to touch on that. Interesting, though, isn't it? So he was flying an ISIS flag on the back, too. And now people are speculating that the FBI tried to cover it up. They tried to roll the flag up before pictures were taken. But in the video of the truck, going down Bourbon Street, you can see that the flag was already rolled up like that. So it wasn't the FBI or police department trying to cover it up. He already had the flag in that position. But it is an ISIS flag, and that was confirmed by the FBI. Strangely enough, knowing all this, there were also IEDs found inside the truck. Supposedly, other IEDs found in French Quarter, New Orleans. The FBI comes out and says this was not a terror attack. And then they walked that statement back and said, no, now we're investigating as a terror attack. Why the fuck would you make that statement? They knew all the things that I just laid out. They knew there was an ISIS flag on the back. They knew about the IEDs. He drove a fucking truck down Bourbon Street trying to kill as many people as possible, including getting out and opening fire with an assault rifle and shooting at police officers, and they said it wasn't a terror attack. When events happen like this, there are always conflicting reports, and usually the stuff that comes out initially turns out to be not true or only partially true. But, they knew all of the stuff I just said. The flag on the back and the IEDs are facts, and the FBI still came out and said it's not a terror attack. Why would you even make that statement? Even if you're trying not to jump to conclusions, why would you say that it's not a terror attack? Knowing all the things that you already knew, it doesn't make any sense. They did walk that statement back, and now are saying they're investigating it as a terror attack. Doesn't make any sense that you'd make that statement in the first place, guys. Something very strange is going on here. Not only that, but a Tesla truck exploded Some news headlines are saying it caught fire. It exploded in front of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Now, there is a video of it exploding. It looks like it had fireworks in it. When it explodes, you can see the fireworks going off. Supposedly, the driver was still inside, too. Suicide bombing? The video that I put out last week talking about Sarah Adams on Sean Ryan's podcast, breaking down potential terror attacks in 2025. I mean, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. This is clearly a terror attack. We may be in the midst of what Sarah Adams was referring to on the Sean Ryan podcast. If you haven't listened to it, please go watch that video. It's more relevant now than ever. This isn't good. We are likely just getting started with this kind of stuff in 2025. Guys, you can't live your life in fear, but you got to be prepared. I would stay away from big cities and big gatherings for the next little while. That's just me. I would also have some food, some water, have like an electric, like a charging station. Like I bought this sucker for Christmas this year just because I want a backup source just in case anything happens. And this has like little outlet plugs that I can, potentially plug something into if I need to. Buy ammunition, buy Bitcoin. And I'm not going to harp on Bitcoin this episode, but you guys need to hedge yourself against potential terror attacks, economic damage, economic uncertainty. These terrorists want to cause mass panic, and they want to destroy things that symbolize the West. New Year's Eve, any kind of like Wall Street economic thing. They would love to cause disaster like that. I'm just saying, be prepared, guys. I don't have any more info right now. This is just breaking news. This just happened today. You guys, open your eyes. Some shit is happening, and we are likely just getting started. 2025, I know there's a lot of optimism. Trump got elected. We're, getting back on track. We're likely heading for a crazy year. Be ready. And, we'll talk about more of this stuff as it unfolds. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. Let's continue to investigate this stuff together. Thanks, guys.